I'm Supriya Nair. Welcome to Print Edition. You know, it's always exciting when a serious writer experiments with a new form, and here we have novelist Altaf Tyrewala's new work, which is astonishingly a 100-page poem in blank verse. Pretty cool, just for the experiment's sake, I'd say. It's called Ministry of Hurt Sentiments. This poem is Tyrewala's rather Swiftian take on the city of Bombay as the sinkhole of filth and corruption. It's sort of unremittingly angry and despairing, and it's sort of all about how the individual evils in each one of us add up to this gigantic traffic-choked accident on the coast, which is what he calls the city. It's a little outlandish. Social criticism necessarily needs to have an outlandish edge, but having said that, it doesn't always work for me. And I really don't know how to explain it in short, except to say that it's kind of a big deal to take up a subject like this and to take up the poetic form. And I don't think you can be both Swift and Blake at once, which is kind of what Tyrewala is trying to do here. So he gets a little bit ahead of himself. There's another poet who makes an appearance over here, Arun Kolatkar. And in fact, the bit where he does is quoted on the flap of the book. And this is where Tyrewala writes, "Sold to the white-haired Harridan in the tattered sari. She once harangued Kolatkar at Zezuri. Now she scavenges on the outskirts of the Chembur slum and knows better than to taunt big city men whose tolerance for poetic insults wanes with their growing riches." But in fact, the Kolatkar opus that comes to mind when I read Ministry of Hurt Sentiments isn't Zezuri at all. It's the Kala Ghoda poems, which were similarly a poetic attempt at interrogating the city and its, shall we say, inconsistencies. But, you know, where Tyrewala comes raging out of the gates and, it has to be said, foaming at the mouth, Kolatkar's own vision, which is quieter and more contemplative, now that I look at it, just seems, you know, so much more effective. And everything that Tyrewala tallies up to add into this rather long poem actually just reminds me of those last few brilliant lines in Kolatkar's Song of Rubbish, where Kolatkar wrote, "We too have our own tryst with destiny and feel the birth pangs of a new city, but prepare for a long period of exile in the wilderness of a landfill site." That's all it took.